Let's
that
practice
weekend.
Sunday.
Yeah.
We're practicing
Oh,
Sunday.
Alexa's on. As I see Alexa.
Alexa.
Uncle Ritz, what's up? How could Chelsea's talking to her uncle on this? This is pretty cool.
Connecting.
Who's Georgiakis? There's Griffin Chernoff. I see my boy Griff.
Georgiakis? Is that who?
Who's Nick Georgiakis? There's Richie Wink with the thumbs up. Love you too, Alexa. The director of the world.
The head honcho of FLG.
We've got a lot of work for her when she comes home for her spring break. Most people on spring break go to like Panama City, Florida. Alexa comes home and runs our business.
She gets it done.
Is that amazing?
We got to bring Alexa on the show.
Alexa will be on the show.
Alexa will be on the show.
Maybe that week.
Yeah, we'll bring her on that Tuesday.
That's
We got
the
to
12th?
also bring in.
Oh no, we have the Yom Kippurs that week.
Yeah, but Alexa can come hang in the studio. I didn't know that.
Kelly O'Brien just joined. Hickey.
Louis. I didn't
Big
know,
Money 15. Who's Big Money?
I don't know.
It's a great name. Big Money.
Are you on the BYG page?
Who are you?
So,
I love this live stuff.
What time are we going on? 7:30? Yeah.
Seven-
You guys gonna start doing a pre-show?
Whenever you want.
Like,
All right.
yeah, we could do that. We can do it now if you want.
All right,
We're ready.
Go live now.
All right, we're going live right now. So if you guys want to come join us, we're on Facebook. FLG.
And we figured out the whole
Oh.
BYG thing. We got a lot to talk about tonight, Cliff.
Facebook.com/studleets.
8:59
Okay.
We'll see you there.
Maybe I
Lowly,
should-
check us out on
can't we-
Facebook.
You guys know what a DVR is or whatever they call those things?
I don't have to be in the discussion. I'm going
I
to
don't
go
have
watch.
DVR, no. I don't have
He has
DVR.
Verizon.
Yeah,
They
no,
don't
I
do that.
don't have Verizon, I have DirecTV.
Oh, DirecTV, they don't do that.
No, they do, I just don't have it.
Oh, they do?
Trying to save a few shekels. Got some big clients who are coming your way though, Ducky.
My way?
Ducky.
Are you calling him Ducky?
Yeah, I was watching his ducks today.
Oh,
I am. That's from a TV show, that's Ilya Kuryakin is Ducky. On that TV show, NCIS, that's Ducky, right?
oh, Ducky, yeah,
And
that's
the
his
Man
real
from
name?
Uncle, he
Got
played
some good things to
Ilya
talk
Kuryakin.
about. We live yet?
Yes, yeah,
We're
Oh,
live.
we are live.
yes.
Wow.
Sorry, as we're looking at our phones there, fans.
I was just posting so everyone knows on Instagram. So let me just fire this post out.
I want
We're
to throw
still-
some things out there. First of all, anybody that's going to be in Maryland, the Mustang Classic at Stevenson University is the best D3 teams in the country. I mean, you're talking Denison, Dickinson. I think York's playing in it. I was writing it all down. Middlebury's there this year. Obviously, Stevenson. On Friday and Saturday in March, Google the Mustang Classic at Stevenson University. You're going to see some of the greatest lacrosse. The world can see how great D3 lacrosse is. Also, in the high school game, they're doing a St. Anthony thing. Yeah, I told you about that, right, Cor? The St. Anthony thing that Keith Weisreich told me about that they're doing?
Is that the Geico?
the Geico?
ESPN?
Yeah, it's a Geico thing.
Take everyone through what that is.
So Saturday and Sunday on ESPNU, Geico is sponsoring games. That's going to be at the two fields at St. A's. So on Saturday, April 27th, Haverford, PA, is playing Ward Melville on ESPNU. What a game that is, huh?
Woo!
Then Darien Seton Hall Prep. Remember, what was the school that had the 3 Seton Hall Prep kids on it? They had 3 Seton Hall Prep recruits, and we were asking who SHP was.
That would be Muhlenberg.
That was Muhlenberg.
Yeah, they
Coach
had 3.
Plunk.
Coach
Grabbing
Plunk.
Some Seton Hall boys. Lincoln Sudbury, the Mass Public School against St. A's on ESPN Plus at 2. You get to see all those St. A studs. Oh, they're going to smack Lincoln Sudbury.
Yeah, that's not gonna be good.
Oh, it's going to get ugly. Coach is going to have to play all his goalies that day. Then Sunday, Darien against St. A's on ESPNU. That's a good one.
Yeah, that is. a
Say
good
it's
one.
St. Anthony's. I don't
So
think
everyone plays 2 games.
They play Saturday
2
and
days.
Sunday.
Okay,
And then
gotcha.
Seton Hall Prep plays Ward Melville. Lincoln Sunbury plays Haverford. I spoke to some Mass guys this week. Lincoln Sunbury is going to get smacked.
Who are
around
some
that
of your
weekend.
favorite Division III lacrosse teams?
Mine?
Yeah, give me some of your favorites.
Well, obviously the guys.
I'm gonna tag them right now.
The guys we just met with are 3 of the best.
All right, so we'll get those guys.
F&M.
We'll get the Bombers too.
Oh, the Bombers, of course. That's my alma mater. RIT. RIT Bates played RIT tough, 14-12.
Oh wow, they
Bates-
lost.
Yeah, they lost, but it was a game. And RIT is legit. Jake Kuhn has built a monster. Well, it's funny. I was going to talk about my boy Jimmy Berkman from Salisbury tonight because Jimmy Berkman, in my opinion, is the GOAT of all college coaches.
Yeah, he is a goat. You think he's like the John Wooden of?
He is the John Wooden of
College
lacrosse.
lacrosse.
He's the John Wooden. I mean, Bill Tierney has more of a name because of the Division I stuff.
Yeah.
And Bill's a great coach.
Yep.
But Jim Berkman is, to me, the GOAT. And it's funny because when we were meeting with Zenny's sister married Jim's son,
Yep,
Kyler, which was kind of cool.
that is cool. Kyler,
Kyler Berkman is now working for the 3D boys in Colorado.
I heard he's a great dude.
Yeah, all the Salisbury guys are great dudes.
So who else? Oh, Stevens.
Stevens Tech.
We're gonna tag them.
He's a Baldwin guy, Gene Peluso.
Peluso is.
Mr. Happiness. Mr. The glass is half empty.
Stevens.
But they got great assistant coaches. Stevens.
I'm gonna tag Wesley.
Stock. Kevin Stockel. Another, a John J. Boy.
Coach Stockel's a good man.
John J. Boy and played at Drexel. I think he played against you.
He's a John Jay guy.
He's a John J. Boy. Yeah. Him and DeBetta were John J. guys.
Yeah, I did play against him.
Stock could play. Stock was a goal scorer, if I remember correctly.
If you played at Drexel, you could play.
Yeah.
They only recruit.
They only recruit
Studs.
ballers.
Do you want to take everyone through what we're gonna be talking about tonight?
Tonight we're doing the, well, Corey used a different terminology of the College Road Tour
Exclusive.
exclusive.
This is an exclusive event you can't find anywhere else.
That's true.
So
And we lived it. And the men in this room that are behind the camera lived it as well.
If that's what Corey called it, what did you call it?
I call it a recap
Recap, got it.
because I went to college and he went to an Ivy League school. So he uses
Spark
he
Notes,
uses
real book.
multi, you know, he uses those words that have a lot of what do you call it?
Polysyllabic.
Words.
You know, no. When a word just keeps going.
Syllables.
Thank you, syllables.
It's called polysyllabic.
what does polysyllabic mean exactly?
Many syllables, multiple syllables.
Okay, and that's a Binghamton education. So it just shows the SUNY education works. It does
I think-
work.
SUNY Binghamton.
That's a
True.
great school. That's what we run our New York State event. I'm a big Binghamton fan.
SUNY Bing's a hot school.
It is. That's a hot school right now.
I think it started upward trending once Cliff was there. In 1980, when Cliff was there, it was like, wow, this something good must be
No,
happening.
it was not 1980.
When
To be
when were you
fair,
there?
Cliff, it was not 1980.
So
It didn't go upward.
I actually started college in 1978, but I didn't really start college until 1980.
Gotcha.
Okay.
So my class graduated from college in 82.
And
I was
you were
83.
going into your
I
junior year.
graduated in 84.
Okay.
What'd you do for those 2 years before
The Israeli
college?
Army.
My head was on the toilet. I drove a bus.
Oh yeah, you were bus driving. Oh, those when you had the Chaminade kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're brutal.
We have to interview him on one of our shows.
Oh, we're definitely yeah.
Oh, they're brutal. One time
We
they
need like a
unbolted
5-part
a
series.
seat and threw it out the back emergency door.
They threw
Took
the
it, say
seat.
what?
Unbolted one of the seats and they threw
Chaminade kids?
Yeah.
Really?
Are you
Yeah, they
surprised?
went through
No.
Hi, Frank.
You neither.
Oh, okay.
Well, one of my all-time favorite kids is Jack Ty, and he's a Chaminade boy.
He's great.
He's
He's,
a
a
cool-
goat.
he's a-
Will Wren's great kid.
Will Wren's another great kid.
We got a Pandalori because we got her back, which is I felt like something was missing this past week.
Yeah.
Aw, thanks,
I mean,
Corey.
Cliff
We
did a
feel
good
more
job, but
complete.
it was half-assed compared to Laura.
Lori had a great line. She's like, "Now you miss me, don't you?" As soon as you have
I
to do
do.
the
When,
comments.
when Cliff was asking the questions and I saw the interview, I was like, you miss me now, don't you?
What do we got? What time we got?
We still have a couple minutes.
7:27.
Good. We got 3 minutes for our pre-show.
We gotta be on track tonight.
We're staying on track. We're
We
going
got a
school by
short
school.
35-minute show tonight. 5 minutes per school, and then we got a at the end.
Oh, we got to talk about
gotta
the
talk about
epic launch.
the launch. We're gonna talk. Coach Wink's excited tonight.
I am so excited. I am so fired up about.
Wheeze this morning.
I am
definitely ate
so
his
fired up.
Wheaties.
I went home and rested.
Did you?
Got a
I
little
rested
power,
before
You get a
this.
power nap in?
Really?
I did not nap, but I rested. I rested.
I'm afraid right now.
I
Yeah,
watched
me
a
too.
little news. A little news gets me cranked up, you know, because there's not a lot of good stuff. Then I put on ESPN, but I can't listen to them talk about LeBron not playing defense.
You want to see something good that just came through the phone?
Let me
Check
hear
this
it.
out. Ready? I know
I
the
need my
screen.
glasses.
Yeah, you're gonna need your glasses for this. Check this out.
Is it my granddaughter?
No, it's probably the second best thing though.
Well, I have. There's got to be third because I have two granddaughters.
Well, I kind
You
of
put them together.
I group those
Yeah,
in.
that's true. They're equals. That's the picture.
And then,
we have to
hold
share
on,
that.
hold on.
Tommy said that to you?
Look at that.
Oh!
Oh, wait. Hold on. Maybe we can.
Can we show that?
Yeah. Oh, shit. Sorry. I'll pay for that. Look at that. Those are.
Oh, wow.
These are.
For that. That's $750.
Relax.
I didn't break it, I promise.
Relax, we just paid for it.
These are two of our FLG alum, 23 Penn State, Tommy Wright
Yeah.
and Jack Ty, who's a senior at Yale.
They're both seniors. Shit. Excuse my
They're
language.
both seniors, and they, hold on, let me pull up this other picture that was just sent. So this was them in
8th grade.
8th grade
When they won the U15 National Championship at Disney World.
in Disney World.
We moved up 5 8th graders.
And they were,
Who were the 5 8th graders?
those are them, my boys.
Guys,
Love them.
Tommy and Jack. I don't know if Jack's on. Probably not. Jack's probably studying.
Yeah, he's studying. Tommy doesn't have to study.
Probably doesn't have to study. No knock on Penn State, man. We are.
Yeah.
Penn
It's
State.
a good education, but
It's a great education. But
Tommy's watching film right now, and our Instagram. I didn't break it, I promise, Cliff. Sorry. Okay.
that's a great picture. Thanks for sharing that, T.
All right, Frankie, we're ready for you, my man. We're gonna go. Let's go show open, and then let's get after it.
Building and strengthening relationships. Boom.
That'll be part of the description. I'll add that in there.
All right, we're gonna roll into the show open.
Yep. We're here. Good to see you, Cor.
Nice hat, Dad.
Good hat on you too, baby.
Thanks.
The Zenster gave us that hat, and Coach Stuck
East Stroudsburg, baby.
and the Mules.
I have a tough time rooting for them just because our allegiance to Diana Schmidt, captain of Mercyhurst, in the same conference.
That's
still love the Lakers. They're the Lakers, right?
They are the Lakers, Mercyhurst Lakers.
'Cause they're on
And
the
they
Lake-
won this weekend, their opener.
Congratulations.
They crushed Ursuline.
But I'm also an East Stroudsburg fan now. 'Cause
I am
Zenny
too.
is the shit. Love her.
She is awesome.
She's great.
And I got to tell you something. One of the things that we do when we go on, I'll just take you through what we've been doing, guys, is this road tour that we've been doing since Corey was a junior in high school in 2006. So this was our 13th year. I mean, Corey didn't do it with me when he was in college. He was doing other things, but I was doing it on my own. And then when he came back, he jumped in, and it was like we never missed a beat. But we visited East Stroudsburg, which only has a women's program, and we met with Zenny Barakis Yader. And she is an unbelievable coach, mentor. And we met her grad assistant, Tiff from Tiffin.
Tiff from Tiffin, who beat Zenny in
Yes.
her senior year by a goal. The girls in the office. So let's go. Let's just talk about each school. Let's start with Stroudsburg. That was our first stop.
Yep.
So here's one of my favorite things. So we're going to talk about tonight. A big part of the show that we want to discuss is like, what can you learn about each school that you don't find on the school website? I think that was a big part about the tour, because you don't get the same everything when you go just visit a website. You don't get the same feel, the culture, the campus life, what's the program like, the lacrosse scene, all that good stuff we got. One of my favorite things was actually, so a couple things was great about East Stroudsburg. One of my favorite things was just sitting in her office before we interviewed her. So we did a really awesome exclusive interview that we're going to release in a documentary that we got to talk about later. But we're gonna release that later. But before the interview with Zenny, we were just sitting in her office, and we didn't even say much. We were just observing, hanging out, and being a part of what she does on a day-to-day. And that was, I just learned so much about why they're successful just by sitting in that office. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Oh, God.
Give me an example without me even saying it.
Well, right away, the young lady who was the nurse who came in, I think
Yeah.
her name was Holly.
Yeah.
Is that right?
I
Good
think
look
it's
her
Holly,
up.
too.
I think she's number 11.
Holly's a s-
She's awesome. I mean, it seemed like every girl on the team walked into this office and just wanted to chat with the coaches.
Yeah, they just
And,
want
and they had to hand in some stuff, right? They had some stuff to
So
hand
I'll
in.
talk about they handed in an index card, and what Zenny does is, after each competition, she has her girls watch the video of themselves playing and write down 2 things they did really well and 2 steps to greatness. And then what they do is they have conversations about those things, so that way the girls are constantly building on the things they're good at and improving the things that they're not great at. And I love that for a couple reasons, because that's applicable not just to lacrosse, that's life.
Yep.
You know, if you're in your job or in school, to be able to evaluate yourself, and especially in sports, it's pretty cool. You can watch yourself. It's the same thing if you're in broadcasting, right? you can watch yourself and critique. Am I saying like or every 5 seconds? All that
Yep.
stuff. So I thought that was really neat. and-
Self-evaluate.
Yeah, you're evaluating. But besides the evaluation, just how she interacts with her players, she has like a real, legitimate relationship with all her players that's like stretches beyond coach player.
It's funny, like
It's like,
when she's talking
it's
to
like she's
them.
like a mom to them.
Yeah, well, she felt like everything. She felt like a friend.
Yeah.
She felt like an aunt. She felt like a sister. She felt like a mom. She felt like a boss.
Yeah.
She did everything.
Yeah.
And that's what makes her really good at her job, though.
And she like
She's got to wear a lot of hats.
and she listens though too. Like when her players, no worries. Like when her players like talk, she's actually she's listening and she's like, "What's up? Like what's going on today?"
When number 11, I think her name was Holly, she was the nurse, came in and started talking.
Thanks,
and
Frank.
it's funny because you see these young ladies coming from like clinicals. So this girl was wearing her nursing outfit, coming with her lacrosse jacket on, and coming in to talk about she just spent 8 hours.
Yeah, Holly Cicerelli. Sorry, Holly. I had forgotten. Tana. I'm sorry, Tana.
Okay, I knew it was an H.
Yeah, Tana.
Number 11? Was she number 11?
Yeah, Hannah's number 11.
Okay. Who was the girl who was just an absolute, like she could have played at Maryland? Who was that girl? 26, I think was her number.
Well, they had a couple girls there.
She has a
up with
really
us,
cool
but yeah,
last name.
that's Krista. She was the
What's her
attacker.
pronounce her last name?
It's Mira Rotunda.
Oh, what a name.
She was awesome. So that experience was really cool. The interview was great. I don't want to give too much about that.
Meeting the AD was cool.
Meeting the AD. So like, what's happening in East Stroudsburg got you excited? It's his second year. He lived in Alaska for how long?
6 years he was the AD in the University of Alaska Fairbanks. He showed us a picture of the shortest day of the year, Laura. Shortest day of the year. It's like 11 minutes long. Light.
In Alaska, yeah. They
It's
only had
11
light.
minutes it has light.
They had light for 11
and he had
minutes.
a picture of it.
That lasts a long time.
It
Yeah.
was so sick. And then he was the AD in Montana State and Billings
Yep.
for 18 years.
And now he's at Stroudsburg.
And now he's at East Stroudsburg. He talked about Division II athletics and, I mean, how they do things at that school. Like, we met the field hockey coach who recruits internationally.
Yep.
They won the national championship in 15 and then lost in the overtime in 18.
Yeah.
So, obviously, she's built an
I think
unbelievable...
they might have won the championship in 17, but yeah, either way, East Stroudsburg, definitely their athletic program, they're serious about it. And another thing that was pretty cool about that experience, we got to see them practice. So we actually got to see the level of play. And like, they have 3 or 4 girls on their team that could, like you said,
Play
they
anywhere.
could play Maryland, they could play,
That girl...
Bucknell.
That girl who I can't
which we
pronounce her
visited.
name.
Mira Rotunda.
Miratunda, thank you. Could play anywhere.
Well, when they scrimmaged Bucknell, Coach Remy even said she could play for us.
Oh, absolutely.
Easily.
She was an absolute beast.
Yeah, she was
They had a
great.
few girls. The other thing about D2, which was kind of cool, that you can't get from looking on a website, is if you're a recruit in D2, you can go and participate with the team
Yes.
in their practice.
There were 3 girls practicing with the team. So think about it. You're a junior in high school,
Right.
and you want to get a feel for how good they are. It's one thing to go and watch, which we were doing, but you're out there now competing against the girls, and you're like, oh wow, like they're legit, or like, hey, I can hang with them. Like this would be a good fit, or hey, a girl on the team, she, I didn't know what I was doing. She pulled me aside and said, hey, like this is how you do it here. And then it shows the leadership of the girls on the team and how they communicate and how they treat younger players. I think that's a really cool
And it
thing.
was so cold, and none of the girls were complaining.
Well, they were just tough. Yeah. It was
So that showed me
Why they're-
like
yeah,
what
that's another-
Zenny's built there in the
Yeah.
4 years she's there.
It actually, not only were they not complaining, they were like super enthusiastic and
Yeah.
positive. There was good energy.
She ran a great practice.
Zenny,
Like boom, boom, boom.
she's unbelievable.
From drill to drill to drill.
The fact that she doesn't have a full-time assistant,
It's amazing.
just a GA, and she's got them to a Final Four. One of the more underrated things about that day too, because we have to shift gears to the next school, Turkey Hill Inn.
Oh yeah,
We
place
took-
was legit. Do you hear about this place,
Is
Laura?
that the name of it?
Heard. Yep.
You would have told me all this in advance. I had every picture ready for you.
So we
So-
show up at the hotel.
Well, originally we were going to
Yeah.
stay in East Stroudsburg, and we decided to head closer to Bucknell because it's like a 2-hour trip. So we drove a good hour, at least an hour and 20 minutes. And Cliff, our producer director extraordinaire, knew of this place by Bloomsburg State called Turkey Hill Inn. It had a beer. What was it? What kind of place was it?
it was a microbrewery.
A microbrewery.
With their
And then
own-
the breakfast was ridiculous.
Best hotel breakfast I've ever had.
The crepes were just through the roof.
So You will no longer be booking hotels.
And 138 a night, which wasn't bad.
That place,
Same price as Fairfield Inn, by the way.
It was the cleanest hotel I've ever seen. It was unbelievable. Did you try the heat lamp in the bathroom?
Yeah.
The heat lamp, dude. You come out of
I
the
was a huge fan.
you come out of the shower, you flip a switch, and heat just starts pouring down on you. It was the most amazing.
Corey, my parents
Get out of
have
the shower.
They have one of those.
Those
What a
are
good
awesome.
idea.
It's like you're cooking chicken under there.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Flip it on. It's like, oh, it's nice.
You just stand there. Oh, it's amazing.
That place was amazing. And we had a great
gotta
meal
invest.
there. We did. We had a great meal. That was a good meal.
Yeah, that was good stuff. Good job, Cliff.
So then we moved on the next morning.
Yeah,
Drove
next
about
morning
a half hour.
we're at Bucknell.
We met with Remy,
Girl, that's
who's the women's coach.
Remington
He's
Steele.
in his second year. And got to learn a lot about what he's building there. One of the things I thought was really cool about that was how he's recruiting non-hotbeds, but like getting the best kids, like that Carolina girl
Yeah.
whose dad played at UNC.
right.
She was getting recruited by UNC, and she picked Bucknell over UNC, which
Yeah.
that doesn't happen every day.
What's kind of cool that he mentioned too is like, not only is he recruiting girls in non-hotbed areas, some of the girls who he's recruiting in the non-hotbed areas have parents who like grew up in hotbeds.
Yeah.
So like they're probably being coached and educated like a kid who's on Long Island or Maryland, but like they just didn't grow up there because maybe his job moved him down there.
Exactly.
Or like let's say
or
a
he went
mom
to
who was a
school
stud
there,
and-
fell in love
Yeah.
with a girl from Carolina,
Yeah.
and then ended up staying there.
Yeah. Or the other way around, you know, like the mom was a stud and
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool because then you have like a high lacrosse IQ kid, great athlete who just happens to be grow up in a different area.
I want to watch this girl play. I remember
Yeah.
her name, and I'm not going to forget it, and I'm just going to follow her career.
Yeah, I think
and
that's
see
cool.
if she kills it at Bucknell.
Yeah, Bucknell's doing. I like Remy too. He's kind of got that hybrid approach. He's got the hockey background, the box lacrosse background, and I think he's gonna do some good stuff.
I wish we got to spend some time with their assistant coaches.
Yeah.
Because when I was talking to the girls, we'll talk about what we did after we met with the boys coaches. But I heard that their assistant coaches are really awesome too, but we didn't get to spend some time with them.
Yeah.
I guess they just weren't in yet or whatever the deal was. But hopefully we'll get to meet them over the summer on the recruiting trail. Mm-hmm. Then Coach Dugan, who was the assistant coach on the men's side, brought us into Coach Federaka's office. Mm-hmm. Coach Fed and the other coaches had like a compliance meeting.
Yeah.
But we got to meet Coach Fed. I had never met Coach Fed. Had you ever met Coach Fed before?
No, that was my first time.
And being he's a Hobart guy and I'm an Ithaca guy, we had some good interactions because obviously I knew the life that he lived. And it's cool the way he never played lacrosse until April 7th of his freshman year at college. Mm-hmm. He was the
Great story.
all-time best wide receiver in Hobart football.
Yeah.
Was playing baseball there. The Coach Urick back then, coached football and lacrosse, asked him to play lacrosse. He had told Coach, I've already committed to the baseball team. Was standing out in right field, great story, standing out in right field playing a baseball game while Hobart was playing Syracuse over the hill. He couldn't see him, but he could hear him.
He said there's like 10,000 people watching the
And
game.
people were just writing him as they were walking by him in right field about what are you doing out on this baseball field? You should be on a lacrosse field. He went into the coach's office on Monday, said, Coaches, can I still learn lacrosse? Coach Urick put his arm around him, walked him down to the baseball coach's office. He goes, oh, no, I meant like next year. He goes, oh, no, you're quitting now. He quit, and then he put him on a wall, and Fed became an All-American football and lacrosse, and arguably one of the most innovative lacrosse coaches in the country.
Why are you calling him innovative? Where does that come from?
Well, it's creativity. I mean, I saw him coach against you when you were in college, and just his defensive slide packages, his creativity of doing things that nobody else does.
And recruiting. Think about how innovative he has to be.
God,
So
does he have to be innovative?
So Bucknell, one thing you may not know is, they don't offer athletic scholarship, unlike other schools in their own conference. A school like Loyola or Boston, University.
fully funded.
They're fully funded, these schools.
And Army and Navy, they're free.
Exactly. So he's somehow competing each and every year against not just his conference teams, but the best teams in the country, and he's not offering anyone anything.
Beat Bucknell 4. Bucknell's
Loyola.
one in the country.
They beat Loyola.
I'm sorry. Bucknell beat Loyola 4 out of the last 5 years. Loyola's arguably the best team in the country this year. I'm curious to see how that game goes. Mm-hmm. He just figures it out.
He watches a lot of film because of his football background, and he's a really sharp guy. He recruits the right kid, the sharp kids that are high lacrosse IQ kids.
I like that staff. I like what's going on at Bucknell. And another thing, just a quick tidbit about Coach Dugan. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you got this vibe, but I got this vibe. He's young. I see him as a head coach someday.
Oh, he's gonna be a great head coach.
I just see it. I see it's like in him.
I feel like he's just like a sponge.
Yeah.
Learns from everybody, constantly learning. You know, he's not too big for anybody. He doesn't care who you are. He's just constantly trying to get better and better himself. He's got a good attitude, and I think that staff that's a pretty mean staff.
Yeah, you got Ryan Dennehy, who coached at Michigan, Penn, worked for 3D. You got Connor Whipple. Well, by the way, what a stud that kid was.
Yeah.
He's Rory Whipple, the Tampa coach's son, who was a 4-time first teamer in Division II.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a great staff.
Yeah.
I mean, those kids are, I'm sure they're soaking it up from those 4 guys.
Yeah. What do you think about the food?
Oh, that was great. So we go to the cafeteria, and we're going to do a food tasting. And one of our boys, Coach Calabria from Syosset, is there because his daughter Eve is the stud sophomore on the team. And they were supposed to have a game, but it was canceled because of the weather. So Mr. and Mrs. Calabria with 2 of their other children are up there with the little guy, JC. Mm-hmm. The little guy was adorable. Are we definitely going to get the food part on the documentary? Did you guys watch any of it?
I watched it. Yeah.
You got some good stuff?
Yeah.
I mean, little JC was great with the mozzarella sticks.
Gave the mozzarella sticks a 9.5. He said the aftertaste wasn't great. So
Chocolate chip cookie was low. You didn't like the chocolate chip cookie.
I think it was oatmeal raisin.
I was all my raisin?
Yeah.
Maybe that's why I didn't like it.
Yeah. That's on me.
Oh, I thought it was a chocolate chip. But the food was excellent.
Food was really good.
So we'll let everybody see that as Frank and his minions.
Yeah, his
figure out how
magic
to make
fingers.
this. It was cool.
All right, let's move on. What was after Bucknell?
That was great. We got to go to Carlisle, PA, which was really cool.
Yep.
I mean,
Quick shout out to Cliff and Frank for pulling off a live show.
yes,
That was unbelievable.
it was unbelievable. It was like a 4-hour setup.
It's kind of like, it's tough. This is how I imagine, like, let's say someone's like, hey, here's all this equipment, like make a live show. That's like making a tree house without a tree. Like if someone was like, hey, like build this tree house, but you don't have a tree, I'd be like,
Plane on the Hudson.
yes.
Yeah, Sully. Oh, that's
Yeah.
a good nickname for Cliff.
Sully.
It's his new nickname.
Sully.
Sullinger. We got to give Frankie Parisi. The J stands for
Frankie
something.
J. Parisi.
But I got to tell you something. Dickinson College was, first of all, beautiful. Beautiful school. International flair, which I thought was cool.
Yeah.
Every kid goes overseas, which I thought was wicked cool for a college student. All the boys and girls.
Speaking of that, which I thought was kind of interesting, we learned this from the women's staff. You know, a big thing about college, your experience is where you live. So on campus, off campus. So in the past, Dickinson students were allowed to go off campus, especially after their like sophomore year. New president comes in, everyone's on campus. So what do kids do? Oh, are you kidding me? I can't have my house. I can't have my own space. I got to be near. Blah, blah, blah. And it's like, okay, let's think about why the president's doing this. And then she explained, well, like you said, about 90 or so percent of the students that go abroad, they come back to campus. How do they share those experiences? Well, a lot of times when you go off campus and you go hang out in your own world with your 5 roommates, that's really who you're sharing your stories with. But now everyone's on campus. You're bumping into a lot more people, seeing them at the cafeteria. You're living with more people on your hall. You're sharing more of your experiences of what you do internationally.
Yeah, it makes
and I think
total sense.
that's brilliant. I think that's such a nice way to build community in a college and share what are like once in a lifetime experiences for a lot of these kids. So
One of the
I
cool
thought that was kinda
stories
cool.
that Kim Massimore is the girls coach who just had a beautiful baby girl, Reed. And I want to do a shout out to her, but more importantly to Paige Messersmith, who's her assistant, who just kept the boat moving in the right direction while
Yeah.
Kim was taking time with her baby.
Yeah, she's a head coach in the making too.
Yeah, Paige is definitely a future head coach somewhere. But they told us about when they both were in the playoffs, how the president was like rooting on, she's like a small woman.
She had the flag. She was like running through the stands, getting everyone fired
This is
up.
the president of the university getting the student body fired up at a playoff game. I love it. I mean, what's better than that? Who's more invested?
And she's a woman. Respect. Let's go. We need more women presidents,
Well, there were.
including.
We're going to talk about the
probably
AD
the
from
president.
Muhlenberg, who was one of our favorites.
Oh,
we
she's-
spent only 5 minutes with her.
She, you know who she? I've never met her, but we'll get there in a minute. I don't want to get ahead of myself. So Dickinson. So we're there. We get we drive around the campus. We go to the bookstore. We're not wearing it, but we bought some Dickinson gear for the live show. We got to catch a practice. I mean, that's a Division I. We watched the boys practice. Coach Webster is running a Division I program at a Division III school. So, I mean, the level of play there is ridiculous. I know they just graduated a ton of studs, but
Shout out to the assistant coaches on the boys' side. Coach White and Coach Donnelly do such a great job. They
great
broke their
staff.
guys up in positional, and it was like they were running a 25-minute practice, or maybe it was a little longer, but each coach had their own little island.
yeah.
It was awesome.
Yeah, I like how Coach Webster empowers his assistants to take ownership of, different parts of practice and really step up. We got footage of that too. Hopefully we'll show in the documentary. I don't think we have any. Also on our Instagram page, we posted at FLG Lax, we posted some of those videos. So
Oh, did
you
you?
check that out there.
Oh, I think
But-
I saw some of the defensive drills.
So
By the
after-
way, I watched Dickinson this weekend.
Oh, nice. You saw the stream?
Well, I saw them beat Montclair State at Montclair State.
Oh, cool.
I saw a lot of the kids that we got to see.
Yep.
Like number 30 went out late, remember, and he was
Yeah,
the
yeah.
man-up shooter.
Yep.
He had a couple goals in the game. He had a decent day.
Cool.
It was cool.
And then after the practice, we did our live stream show. Do we have to have any clips, Frank, up from the show?
Not loaded in here.
Okay, that's all good. We're gonna start. We posted 2 of them already to our Facebook and to Instagram, and Cliff was nice enough to cut up a few more. We're gonna be posting those over the next 2 days. So you can either watch the show on byglacrosse.com and tune in to Coach Webster, who is the man. Great accent. Coach Lori and I were talking about his accent.
Oh, I want to read something. You just brought that up. I want to read something. So we do the show, and one of our FLG alums is a young man named Patrick Finneran. He's a Garden City boy who went on and played. He just graduated last year. And we mentioned him on the show because he's obviously he's an alum of our program. And so after the show was Tuesday night, Pat texted me. I just want to read this. This is, hey, Coach Wink, just listen to your interview with Coach Webby. Great stuff. Wish I was still at campus when you sat down with him. He is truly an unbelievable guy. He was the reason I chose Dickinson and couldn't have been happier with my 4 years there. Love the shout out and support you showed me and my parents. Told my pops to give a listen to the interview. I'm sure he'll love it. I mean, that's a young man who had an unbelievable experience at Dickinson. And that particular young man, said the reason he went to the school was originally Coach Webster, but I can understand that after spending time with Coach Webster, how that man makes an impact on your life,
Yeah.
which is very important. Mentors are important.
Yeah, he definitely cares a lot more about developing young men and what happens to you after college than like all the lacrosse stuff, which I think people get so caught up on the sport and they're not as caught up on the success of
The
the
important
kids
stuff.
on your team. Yeah,
The reality of what's important.
yeah, exactly. So yeah,
Good
he's
stuff,
great,
right?
But
So you traveled for 4 days. 4 days, 5 days?
We left Monday, came back Thursday.
So what was your highest high and your lowest low?
I don't think we had any really major lows. I would say the
Did
only
you have an aha moment the 4 days that you were gone?
aha moments. We had a few.
yeah,
I mean, we had a few because we met so many quality people.
What stands out?
I
First
think
thing on your head.
well, the first thing that stands out to me is, we visited, about 6 schools that are very different from one another. I think in a lot of ways, but at the same time, if I was a student athlete going through the process and potentially looking at these schools, and if let's say it was a realistic option for me to maybe go to one of them, I would have a really tough time making that decision just because there's so many good places to attend college. And I thought that was kind of eye-opening and interesting. And it also opens my eyes to the fact that kids really need to understand or have some sort of direction of what they want to do and get out of their college education. Otherwise, you're just going to be going to school for school, which I think is something that we don't advise anyone to do. And I think, making these visits, you really learn what schools are great at and what they can offer kids. And I think you can really create an amazing experience and set yourself up for a lifetime of success if you do your research and kind of
Because
find the right place
if you
for
go visit the school and you learn about it, like we learned so much about all these schools, you'll get excited about something that a school tells you about, and that'll make you, oh yeah, I do. I have a passion for that. We met the young man who's the All-American midi at Dickinson, who wants sports. He wants to be in sports marketing.
Yeah.
And we hooked him up with the sports recruits guys. And it was like an instant, okay, we got a relationship here. Here you go, boom, boom, boom. Hopefully it works out for both of them.
Mike, what's your aha moment over that time, that trip?
How much I love what I do. Corey and I at 6 a.m, we're going to have breakfast after we were at the Turkey Hill. So we get up in the morning and we're going to go to eat. And he looks at me as we're filling the car. He goes, Dad, I love you. This is the greatest.
There you go.
What's better than that?
Nothing.
Your 30-year-old son tells you he loves you. That doesn't happen every
Yeah,
day.
he's definitely your aha moment.
That was my aha moment. That was the best. And that means a lot to me.
Yep. I agree.
Turkey Hill gets you excited.
And then the crepes were amazing.
Oh my God.
That's when I got
Great
crazy.
breakfast.
Turkey Hill ice cream? Wait, what?
I bet you that's where it was made. No. All right, we make it up.
No, but I think Turkey Hill is from Pennsylvania.
I believe you're 100% right.
There was a bunch of them up there.
Yeah.
I saw a few of them.
Did you notice the
One
vineyards?
thing-
Did you guys notice driving by? We drove by a few vineyards. Did you notice it?
I did not, but I know there are vineyards.
Okay, I just.
Brandon Childs, the York coach, said Pennsylvania is like the snack capital
yeah.
of the world. He's like, there's a snack
Really? This-
Yeah.
snack capital.
Utz. He started
Yeah,
naming
he's
all
like-
the
He's got
companies.
Lay's, Utz. He's like,
Oh, I've taken the tour at us.
oh,
The tour of the potato plant there.
Nice.
did they give you free chips? Free.
Yeah.
Utz are good. I like their barbecues.
How cute
good
was Kim
crunch.
Masimore's little girl, Reed?
Real cute.
To see a coach.
Were we at York the next morning?
Yeah, then we went to York.
So speaking, I thought it was kind of interesting their connection with Harley Davidson.
Yes.
They got like 3 of their athletes working for. Did you guys notice the Harley factory driving to York, which is when we got hit with the snow? So a lot of the
Engineers.
boys, engineers, they go work for Harley Davidson. One kid who's now an assistant coach for York, he works for Harley during the day and then he coaches in the afternoon. He's an engineer, which is pretty neat.
Or York air conditioners.
yes,
And the York air
I'm
conditioners.
sure they get a few.
Yeah.
York College to me, and when, you talk about, so when you evaluate the college selection process, economics comes into play. So like certain schools are more expensive, certain schools are less expensive, and what do you want? I thought like York, forget that they have 2 world-class Division III lacrosse programs. The value is great. It's not as expensive as some of the other schools. They give financial help for good students. They have really good engineering, good education, nursing. I think that's important because some schools don't recruit nurses, especially on the girls' side.
I thought East Stroudsburg, that was pretty cool. They
That
had
was a big
nurses,
major for them.
And then same thing with York.
Yeah, those are the 2. So for those, and we reached out to one of our girls in our 20 class who wants to be an elementary ed major to go up to Stroudsburg and York because she would kill it at both schools. And I think she would get nice packages, if they see her play and see how good she is. But York was cool because we got to spend a lot of time with Brandon Childs, who is basically, and Jen Mustan, who basically built a program from nothing. And their national champ, they beat Salisbury. They're not national champs yet,
Yeah, they're knocking.
but
on the
they're
door.
knocking on the door.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. We have a pretty awesome interview with him too. We'll release some of that footage. That guy is impressive.
He's a special guy.
He's like a deep thinker. Like you give him like a topic and he just kind of dives into it deeper than a lot of people I've spoken to that are lacrosse coaches in his shoes. And he's very creative and he's passionate and he thinks about his job more than just, hey, I got to teach these kids how to play the game.
Well, the thing that I thought was really interesting, and I learned a lot from Cliff on this particular moment, is when Cliff walked into his office, he had a lot of pictures in his office. And Cliff started asking him about the pictures.
Yeah, because Cliff knew that those mean a lot to him.
Right.
Which is,
And I found that fascinating because every picture was so different. Like the one, Cliff, what was the one that his kids did like a voicemail and it was a picture of a voicemail? I didn't get
They
that.
actually recorded a statement to their dad about, hey, Dad, go kill it.
Go get your
out
win.
there, Go get your win.
Yep.
And they showed the actual lines of their voices in a picture.
So
Oh,
cute.
that's very cool.
2 little boys, 4 and 5 years old, Laura.
yeah,
Cutest
it
little
was
things.
what they say to their dad on game day every morning. It was like, go win it, Dad, or like, go
Go get
it,
the win.
Go kill it.
The voice, the sound wave.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Yeah, it was like a
And the other
beautiful
one, which was a
framed-
picture that really touched my heart,
Yeah.
was him hugging I think he was number 30, if I remember correctly. And it happened to be a guy who it was after he lost his last game. He was hugging one of his players, one of his captains, and that man is now the head coach at Scranton,
Right.
Coach Hofmeister,
Right.
which was cool.
Yeah, that was really neat.
And obviously, every great coach seems, both on the men's and women's side, seem to have their tentacles of great people that they've affected, and they're going out and either doing exactly what they do and coach,
Yeah.
or just going out into the world. So that's where the education, we were just talking about this when we were coming here.
Yeah.
That's where great teachers, they don't have to necessarily, you don't have to be a teacher to come from a great teacher, but they affect you.
Absolutely, in everything.
Right.
In everything.
And these men and women that we met were all great teachers, great educators,
Yeah.
mentors.
Yep.
I was. That's the one thing out of the trip. We didn't meet one man or woman that wasn't a really good mentor to their boys or girls or young men or young women. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, and then in some of the interview processes or when we were just having conversation with these coaches, especially at York, when we ever asked them to be like, hey, share a story or an example of, and then their response was always the same. It was like, oh, I have so many. Like,
Yeah.
give me a second. Let me reach back into the bank. And
it's funny because
and it was-
we asked for the story when we weren't interviewing him, and then you asked the same question and it was a different story.
yeah, because he just has so many examples.
And the same thing with Jen, when she showed us the locker room. We met those two wonderful
Yeah.
young ladies
Yep.
in the York locker room, and they had the inspirational sayings in their locker room, which I love. I love. You need to go into someone's house to really get to know them, and it's the same thing about a locker room. Like the Dickinson locker room was sick.
Yeah.
And what they had on the walls, they had the team, and then they had the individual.
That
and,
locker room was beautiful.
I mean, but it's just you learn so much about
Yeah.
Coach Webster, his and his boys.
Cliff made a great point too when we were in. I think it was in that locker room. Cliff mentioned how like organized it was, and in his opinion, that was because he understands that the kids that have each of those locker rooms and get to be a part of that respect it
Yeah.
and feel honored to be a part of it. So, in order to return the favor for what they've been given, they basically treat it like it's their own home. They treat it by cleaning up after themselves. They treat it, by taking good care of something that's really nice that was given to them. So I thought
So
that was
true.
kind of interesting. And I noticed that in pretty much any
F&M
locker room.
too.
Yeah, every locker room we saw, because they're all successful programs, every kid treated it the right way.
It's funny. So we leave York, and there's a snowstorm, and it's a 32-minute drive with no snowstorm. It took us about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. We had to take back roads. I mean, these guys were following us behind. They're like, "Where are these guys going?" We were listening to Waze, but we didn't sit in any traffic, but it was slow.
We were moving.
It was slow.
We were wazing.
We
were
get to
wazing.
F&M and we meet up with we go to the hotel. Coach Cav picks us up. He's the Coach Cavallaro. Todd Cavallaro is the head coach of Franklin Marshall Men's. And just a quick tidbit about him: he recruited Corey to Penn. He was the gentleman that kind of talked Corey into, this is the school for you. And he never got to coach Corey because he got the F&M job like a week before Corey went to campus, which was great for him. And he's had an unbelievable run at F&M. F&M is beautiful. Holy cow.
That school's ridiculous.
Where we met up with one of our recruits who happened to be at the campus. Big Ev was there with his mom Gail to look at the school, and Coach Cavs was nice to show him around. When we met them, they were where the sophomores' apartments were. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, it was like the nicest apartment, like a 4-story apartment building that was from the best part of Soho. Mm-hmm. It was beautiful. The stadium was ridiculous.
Yeah, that was one of the nicest stadiums.
They had an area with a fireplace where you could sit inside and watch the football lacrosse game.
Yeah, it was nice. A lot of history too.
Yeah, we have some good pictures that.
Yeah.
I think you had sent them some pictures of that, right? With the Franklin and Marshall helmet.
Oh yeah, that was from the locker room. That blue helmet.
That's cool,
That was
right?
Jack Gatto's helmet. FLG boy.
Yeah, Jack Gatto, a Cold Spring Harbor kid.
What are the diplomats?
They're the
F&M?
diplomats. So Franklin and Marshall, I guess, were diplomats.
They were.
Dips. Go
That's-
Dips, they say.
That's right. Hashtag go dips. They were. I learned that was a pretty tough school from what
To get into?
Not only get into, just get
Oh.
good grades. They don't just hand out
No.
B's.
No, B's are hard there.
Yeah, like you got to.
For those of you that like challenges, Jacob Bruno, you're out there. I know you're a challenge guy.
Yeah,
It was a good school for you.
exactly.
challenge.
Yeah, they're gonna challenge you in like every way.
Yeah, kids, they don't give out B's. Not forget the A's. Oh, yeah. Coach Wink would not have worked well at that school. Oh, boy.
No, thank you.
They would have been like, what are you getting?
But they got some program, and they got great kids. A lot of Long Island kids too, which is cool.
They did. They had Nolan Garcia's brother, Ronan's on the roster. The kid who's killing is Luke Keating from Garden
That
City.
kid's a stud. You got our boy Gatto. You got Crennan.
Nicky Crennan's killing it there.
Yep. You got Palinetti's brother.
Oh, yeah, Little, that's right. His older brother.
So talk it.
That's right. That's right.
Bunch of kids.
Yeah, it's cool. Cav likes his Long Island boys, but he does well in Jersey. We didn't get that was the one thing of the trip. You said the one thing that I didn't like. We didn't get to meet the women's coach because he lived 40 minutes away and because of the weather. And it's funny. I really wanted to meet him because I didn't know him. I never met him, and Corey never met him. And they have such a really high level program. And I know we have a lot of girls on Long Island that he has quality girls. Mm-hmm. And it's ironic. They played WNL this weekend, and they lost to WNL. And one of our girls who plays with WNL and the Cold Spring girl, Faria, had 5 points against them. And the coaches emailed me, the two assistants, so they're going to be coming to the Premier Showcase.
Oh, cool.
Because they're friendly with, I think it was Jen from York. And, they said some nice words about the whole visit and stuff. So it's unfortunate we didn't get to meet Coach Faith, but one of these days we'll meet him.
So the next day and the last day, we were at Muhlenberg, right?
I would say that was the biggest surprise for me.
Yeah.
Would you say that was the biggest surprise?
Yeah, I was taken back by how awesome that place was.
I was blown away. I was asking Frankie and Cliff, what'd you think? And they just were like, what a beautiful school.
Yeah. And we caught it on a nice day, too. It was like...
Yeah, it was 50 degrees and
50
sunny.
degrees, the snow's starting to melt, nice coverage. The campus was beautiful. The food was really good.
The
Went to
mules.
Cafeteria. We got that hat from the
Coach
women's
Stockel.
coaches.
She was cool.
Met the AD.
The AD was probably...
So
she's a rock star.
You know who she reminds me of?
Who?
J.K. Rowling,
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just like
author of all the Harry. She's just like
so
she has
positive.
this presence about her that
So
was like, wow,
positive.
like you're like, I don't know, you like there's like magic. There's like magic going on.
Their cafeteria was sick.
Their cafeteria, it looked like Hogwarts.
Did you hear about this? Did you hear they had
ridiculous.
They have an app. That was cool.
Yeah, the app was cool.
The coaches were showing us. You go on the app, they tell you what they're serving. And this particular day was make your own mac and cheese. And you go to like like an omelet bar? It's a mac and cheese bar. And you go and you just start pointing.
Yeah, it was legit.
Like if you want chicken, you want shrimp, you want lobster, it was unbelievable. So I had this mac and cheese that was just ridiculous. It was so good.
Lobster mac.
We got to have lunch with our boy Del Monte, who's killing it.
I did take a picture. I'm gonna send it to you later, Laura. Yeah, we saw James. That was cool.
So James Del Monte is a young man from Long Island who grew up in our program, who's a great kid, who killed it last year as a senior, and he's running first midfield and man up for Coach Plunkett, which, by the way, a little shout out to Plunkett's staff. Plunkett's staff and Stuckel's staff was cool, but Plunk's staff we had. So I wrote everybody's down. Coach Winters, who played at his brother played at Bucknell. He played at Hopkins. His dad coached at Bucknell. Mm-hmm. Coach Moyer, Troy Moyer, and Coach Alex Stone, who we've known for a long time, who's the head coach at Bard. Mm-hmm. That's a sick staff with Coach Jake Plunkett.
Yeah, they got a great group.
Eric Dunn is one of our coaches.
Oh, he says Corey's really geeking out right now. I think he's talking about the mac and cheese. I think.
Yeah, he's probably talking about because
Yeah.
he just has because he's a sarcastic guy, Coach Dunn.
We weren't supposed to let him back in the country, but I guess he found his way back here.
Yeah,
He went away for his February break.
Yeah, went with his newlywed wife. And then, which was really cool, and I got to give Coach Stockel from Muhlenberg big props. We go in to meet with the girls' coach. We go into the conference room. It's Coach Stock. I wrote down the coaches' names, the girls' coaches. And I can't read my handwriting. Delaney and Misner. Not bad. And they bring in this young lady, I wrote her name down, Amanda Tulo from Smithtown. She's a senior. And she starts talking. And it was really, really a smart thing because we heard the perspective from the student. And she went to Smithtown West. She played for Carrie Boda. And she went to high school with 7 or 8 college-level lacrosse players. All the other girls went D1. Every single girl but her either transferred or gave up lacrosse. She went D3 and is killing it and is doing great in school and went overseas. She told us she was in Florence, has had the most amazing college experience. And it was like an eye-opening. Not that we needed this, but our fan base, our parents need this. They need to see Amanda Tulo. They need to talk. And shout out to Amanda's mom and dad, because they were big influences on her experience.
Yeah, 100%.
She told us about that.
It's true.
I was blown away.
Well, I think like when she talked about her experience, her parents, they were basically like, I don't care what anyone else is doing. We're going to figure out what's the best for you, and we're going to target those schools, and we're going to create our own path. And I think every parent should have that perspective, because every kid's different. And we talk about that all the time, but I agree. Her parents, and she was a very impressive young lady, you know?
So Corey and I did a piece yesterday with Lac Sports Network about our road tour. And the guy who was interviewing us is a guy named
Peter
Dolan.
Yeah, I think Peter Dolan.
And his sister, ironically, was Amanda Tulo's roommate, and she's on the Muhlenberg girls team.
Yeah.
That's wild.
And he watched, he followed our road tour on however Corey presented it. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, that was
He was a
cool.
really nice kid.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to give a shout out to Carolyn Dolan, number 17 on,
nice.
on the Muhlenberg Mules.
There you go. We're Mule fans now.
We're big Mule fans. And, got to talk about the multi-sport athlete at Muhlenberg.
Yeah.
So Muhlenberg football lost to Mount Union in the Division III quarterfinals, the Elite Eight, this year. Mount Union is always in the finals against Wisconsin Whitewater. And their stud defensive end, first-team All-American, 6'4", 6'2", 245 pounds, is their face-off guy on the lacrosse team. They have 5 football guys playing lax. Their football coach is the man. Their lax coach is the man. They both worked at Cortland. Coach Plunkett's a Homer, New York guy. We'll shout out to the Homer boys. And I love that they're multi-sport college. I mean, obviously, we reached out to a few of our kids who were thinking of doing that. And it just shows you that it works.
Yeah, it's
and this kid's an animal.
Yeah, it's great to
I would
see
have
that.
liked to meet him. Their weight room, we met the what's that guy called? Strength coach?
Yeah, their strength and conditioning coach is great.
That guy was an animal.
Yeah.
It was cool. It was a great trip.
Yeah, that was great. So
And then we got home. You went home to see your beautiful little baby.
yes.
And I got
we
to
made
see
it.
my boy Louis Perfetto win the quarterfinals
Nice.
against Southside. Tomorrow night, Manhasset is playing Elmont. It lost twice to
the
him
semis.
in the semis. Let's shout out.
So what is that, the 1-4 game?
Yeah, the 1-4 game. The 2-3 game is Lynbrook, Valley Stream, I believe.
Has Manhasset played either of those teams?
No, those two
Okay,
teams
gotcha.
were in the
They're in
other
Lacrosse.
side.
Okay, gotcha.
So
yeah, that makes
I'm
sense.
hoping those Manhasset Indians have it in them so that they can make it to the finals. 7 o'clock at Farmingdale. Coach Wink will be there. We do it every February break. We talked about today possibly doing it in the fall because
The demand is there,
we also love it.
and we do. Yeah, I think, and there's so many colleges. So like, you could do 5 tours a year, you know. But
We're trying to get Wheels Up to sponsor it and fly us. What do you think of that idea, Cliffy? In a private plane? You in?
Private plane?
Well, Wheels Up are all private jets, I heard. A buddy of mine works for it. I'm working on the
Don't you have a
sponsor.
subscription, Cliff? Don't you have a monthly to that?
Yeah.
To Wheels Up?
No, I gave it up because I bought a plane.
Oh, gotcha.
It's flying the green screen.
Thanks for sharing that with us.
Bring that up.
All right, so I want to talk about a couple things before we end the show.
Yeah.
We'll talk about the launch of the Long Island Lacrosse Journal at the end. But 3 things that everybody should do if they can out there in lacrosse world. Go see the Mustang Classic at Stevenson University. See the best division, not all the best, but some of the best Division III teams play on a Friday and a Saturday. You'll see quality lacrosse. It's down at Stevenson University in Towson, Maryland. In April, Geico is sponsoring with ESPNU a bunch of great games at St. Anthony's. I had it on my phone. I'll bring it back up. Coach Weiserak was nice enough to share this with me. He is the St. Anthony coach. And you got Saturday, you got Haverford, PA against Ward Melville, Darien, Connecticut against Seton Hall Prep, Lincoln Sudbury, Mass against St. A's. Sunday's Darien, Connecticut against St. A's, Seton Hall against Ward Melville, and Lincoln Sudbury against Haverford. The games are going to be on either ESPNU or ESPN Plus. Geico's sponsoring it, and that's 6 great lacrosse games, with 6 great teams. And then we're going to cover the Sunday for that. But on Saturday, April 27th, arguably the best high school girls lacrosse in the world, and I mean the world.
It's true.
Gains for Brains at Cold Spring Harbor High School. This was started by Raf. Raf works for MSG they raise money for, I guess it's for brain cancer, right? And they bring the best high school girls lacrosse teams from Long Island. Coach Bongino was nice enough to give me, here we go. The teams: Mattatuck Suffern, ESM Darien, that's a game. Mount Sinai Moorestown, Cold Spring Harbor New Canaan, Farmingdale Yorktown, Sacred Heart John Jay, West Bab Bronxville, and Middle Country Rumson. We're giving our girls that Saturday off.
Yeah, we want them to go watch that.
I want every girl who loves lacrosse to go to Cold Spring Harbor that day.
100%. We're blowing that up.
That's going to be so much fun. You want to talk about the LJ?
Yeah. All right. So
Go for it.
This going into this Friday, so March 1st at midnight, 12:01, we're releasing the Long Island Lacrosse Journal. We're featuring every single high school lacrosse team on Long Island that plays will be in this magazine. We have over 1,600, no, more than that, over 2,000 athletes that will be featured in the magazine from Long Island. We have some of the biggest brands in the sport are going to be in the magazine as well, showcasing their goods and their services to all the lacrosse fans nationwide. And it's going to be absolutely ridiculous. We got video, we got pictures of the top players, highlight videos, coaches interviews. It's probably the coolest thing we've ever done.
I emailed the college coaches about it to let them know about it. And you wouldn't believe how many. Jerry Byrne is hilarious. Jerry Byrne is a Levittown guy who went to Chaminade, who has been the defensive coordinator at Notre Dame, arguably the guru of defense in college lacrosse. He emails me back, "Who's sponsoring it? Borelli's?" I said, "No, Sal's Deli in Levittown." But yeah, it's gonna be amazing. It really is, and I hope everybody out there spreads the word so that we can give the notoriety. And the college coaches love it because they'll be able to recruit from it because all the video we have in it.
Yeah.
It's an app. Just go into your app store. And I did get somebody DM us, ask if it was on an Android. It's on every type of phone.
Yeah, so you can get it on Apple, Google Play, or Amazon. And if you just search Long Island Lacrosse, it's the first app that pops up. And you can get it for $2.99 on any of those, on pretty much any device, any platform. So,
You do it on your iPad too, which is
Yeah.
me personally. I love it on my iPad.
yeah, the iPad is probably the best way to view it. I agree. But you can also get it on your phone.
Well, the kids are gonna, they live on their phone, so it'll be the phone. But
Yeah.
and we've been talking to a lot of the kids. I mean, there's gonna be so many pictures of so many great lacrosse players.
Yeah, it's all good stuff. And we're also releasing all the games we'll be covering this year. So there's some good stuff in there too that we haven't released yet. So
Oh, the String King games of the week.
all the String King games of the week, which is one of our big time sponsors.
So next week we'll be talking about the high school season.
Yep. We got a special guest coming in, Coach Hungerford.
Coach Hug!
Coach Huggy, the Farmingdale head coach. He's very involved in high school lacrosse on Long Island, and we'll be bringing him in.
He's an historian.
He is a lacrosse historian. We'll be doing a lot of history, big history lesson next week.
Yeah, he has a lot of knowledge, that man,
Absolutely.
and he's a good human.
Cool. All right, we'll see you next week, guys.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.
All right, sweet.
I actually saw a